Sometimes I wonder if I'll actually be alone for the rest of my life. Not in a dramatic way, just a quiet thought that shows up every now and then. But being alone doesn't necessarily mean you're lonely. You can spend an entire day by yourself and feel completely at peace. Or you can be surrounded by people, laughing, talking, existing in the same space, yet feel a profound sense of isolation. Loneliness is a state of mind. Most of the time, I'm fine with being alone. But every now and then, there's this quiet craving for a connection, someone to talk to, someone to share things with. You can have great experiences on your own, but sometimes you wish there was someone there to experience them with you. And then it starts to feel like maybe the loneliness is self-inflicted. Isolation is strange because it can become comfortable, addictive even. Sometimes being alone feels better than being around most people. Sometimes you're relieved when plans get cancelled, because the effort of performing social interaction feels heavier than the solitude. Sometimes you tell yourself you're protecting your peace, when really, you've just gotten used to hiding from disappointment. And the longer you stay isolated, the harder it becomes to leave. But I don't think people today are lonely simply because they're alone. I think people are lonely because nothing feels real anymore. We've turned life into a representation of life. Friendships become followers, conversations become comments, experiences become content. Even our thoughts get shaped by an invisible audience. We wanted connection. We wanted to share our lives and feel understood. But somewhere along the way, we started experiencing life through a screen instead of ourselves. A beautiful view isn't enough. We have to capture it. A meal isn't enough. We have to post it. A moment isn't enough. We have to prove it happened. And when everything becomes content, reality starts feeling distant. The result is that we're more connected than ever, yet many of us feel more disconnected than ever. And relationships don't feel much better. We live in an era of convenience, and that applies to relationships too. It feels like nobody wants to sit for discomfort anymore. Whether it's friends or partners, people often leave at the first sign of inconvenience. Ghosting has become easier than honesty. Replacing people has become easier than understanding them. And after enough experiences like that, you start asking yourself, am I actually destined to be alone? Or am I living in a world that makes genuine connection harder to find? Maybe it is just easier to be alone. But here's the other side of that coin. Don't be afraid of loneliness. Loneliness isn't always a sign that something is wrong. Sometimes it's a necessary part of growth. Know your worth even when it gets lonely. Never trade your self-respect for acceptance. Never shrink yourself just so people will keep you around. You're better off having no friends than bad friends. But that doesn't mean you stop looking for connection. Just be more careful about where you look for it. Because being useful to people can feel like belonging, but being needed isn't the same thing as being valued. Some relationships only survive because you neglect yourself to maintain them. And some people are comfortable with you right up until your boundaries interrupt their access. When you set boundaries, you quickly see who was there for you and who was just there for what you could give them. That's why periods of isolation can actually be important. Sometimes you discover who you are when nobody else is around to influence you. You learn what you genuinely enjoy, what you believe, what kind of life you actually want. But eventually, you have to return to the world. Because no matter how much we think we're improving, life isn't meant to be lived entirely alone. Growth is important, but don't fall into a trap of growing just for the sake of growth. Even cancer cells grow. At some point, growth has to be shared. Adulthood isn't just about building a career. It isn't just about finding your purpose. It's also about finding your people. The kind of people you want beside you while you're building that life. And sometimes, that's the hardest part. Finding genuine connection takes time. It can take years, but it will be worth it. You will be better for it. And when you start growing, when you start changing, when you outgrow your environment, it will feel lonely. You start feeling disconnected from people you've known for years. You start walking a path that fewer people understand. But that loneliness is a transition, not a destination. Sometimes the path you're meant to walk isn't one that can be shared with the people you started with, and that's okay. The people who belong in your future might not be in your life yet. You may meet them further down the road, which is why you shouldn't stop walking. Keep working on yourself. Keep building the life you want. Keep reaching out. Keep making the attempt. Because sometimes all you can do is try, and sometimes that's enough. There will be times where being alone benefits you. There will be times where your career demands more attention, but eventually you'll have to step out of that space. You'll have to let people in, because at the end of your life, You won't wish you worked a few more hours. You'll wish you spent more time with people you cared about, the people who made life feel real. So even if you're feeling lonely right now, keep walking the path you've chosen. The people meant for your life may not be here yet, but genuine connection is one of the few things in life that's worth waiting for.